There's something weird going on Instagram right now. I noticed that content has completely shifted just in the last 3 months. And if you're posting even in the same way as last year, you're probably seeing a dip in engagement. And I think I know the reason why. There's these weird little quirks about Instagram that are making some content go viral and other types of content just go. So I want to walk you through what I'm noticing before it becomes totally obvious to everyone else. Fair warning, some of the things I'm going to share might bother you. You might think, well, you told me to do this last year, but now you're saying don't? Yeah, things change. So this is completely updated for what I'm seeing right now in 2026. By the way, my name is Elise. I've been teaching Instagram marketing since 2017. I've seen a lot of trends come and go. And what I'm going to share is completely my opinion and not proven whatsoever, but I have a little inkling as to why things go viral and why they don't. So that's what you're going to learn from me today. First, you have to understand that mid is dead. Mid effort, meh content, just film something with really bad lighting, really bad audio. Don't even waste your time anymore. There's just too many creators with such great content that everything is higher. Production value is higher. The point of view you need to have is higher. You can't be safe and wishy-washy and just meh. You can't come online with zero energy or whisper to your phone and expect someone to stop the scroll. You need to capture their attention within half a millisecond. You don't even have 2 seconds or 3 seconds like I might have said a few years ago. It's tiny. So overall, you need to understand first, Instagram is raising the bar in 2 different ways. One, your production value needs to go up. Good lighting, good audio, and a decent background. Simple. The second thing is your opinion, your perspective, your point of view also has to go up. I am completely guilty of this, of sharing safe, wishy-washy, neutralized type of stances when it comes to social media marketing or the content marketing world. I don't really ruffle feathers. Now, I'm not saying you need to piss people off to just get views or to rage bait people, but I am saying that you need to have an opinion, a perspective, and some people are going to agree with you and some people won't. And that is what people are engaging with on social media today. So if you're with me so far, here's the first unproven trend that I'm noticing, and it is yellow font is everywhere. Butter yellow was really trendy last summer, but now I'm noticing it's like the #1 trending font on CapCut and everyone's using it. Now, using a yellow font is not automatically going to make you go viral, but it's a really great color because it has a high contrast against what's behind the font. Usually, look at my background right here. Add some yellow font on top, you'll see what I mean. It pops. Yellow font is working now for a reason, so when you see something like this, just go ahead and try it out. Now, the yellow font might stop the scroll, but to keep people engaged, you have to have a few more things going for you. Like I said, no more low quality video. Get a new phone and film in front of a window. That's it. Number 2, maybe use a mic. I'm using a mini mic right here pinned in my shirt. You're seeing a lot of people use them as props in their videos. Up your audio quality. And with that said, one trend that was big a few years ago was repurposing everything. So if you filmed your coaching call or your podcast on Zoom, it could be pretty easy to chop up your Zoom clips into a fuzzy reel and maybe you would get some views. But today I'm not seeing that work at all. Repurposed Zoom clips are from 2020. Now, when you film something on Zoom, it's better that you just refilm it to your camera using your phone or a proper camera if you want, and making it intentionally a reel. I don't think there's much value in repurposing something that is low quality when it comes to the video or the audio. Just refilm it. My friend Renee Warren is a perfect example of this, where she used to take her podcast recordings through Zoom and then turn them into reels. In fact, I think I was a guest on her podcast and she did just that. But this year I noticed she stopped posting that type of content entirely. Her podcast still exists, but now she's filming direct talking to camera videos or Yap videos where she's sharing a perspective and a point of view. And then those videos are directing people to her other content like her podcast. So she's taking the time to refilm specifically for social media. And that's what it takes today. This might all sound like more work, but the good news is trend number 2 that I'm noticing, which is overly edited and overly polished, is completely out. That Hormozi style of editing where it was really fast and flashy and a lot of graphics and emojis on screen, that's no longer. That's a dated style of editing. What I'm seeing now is more of that authentic, raw, actually less edited style that looks more like a vlog. Think of YouTube back in 2010. The vloggers back then were keeping things pretty chill. There was a lot of like ASMR type of content, and you just didn't see fast cuts and boom, 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 boom. It was like you were stepping in and watching someone's hour without a lot of over editing. So I'm noticing that same vlog type style is happening now. There's a different type of font. There is the typewriter sound effect that we're seeing. You don't need to over edit your videos, and that is a relief. You can even fire your video editor if you want, because now there are so many tools that will auto edit for you, or CapCut. CapCut is a great tool on desktop, by the way. I don't use it on my phone that much, but it's a great tool to bring in your video clip, chop it up to cut out all the dead air, add your text, add your sound effects, add your captions, and boom. The more you do it, the easier it's gonna get, and you're gonna be able to turn out content. And by the way, that bold yellow font I mentioned, that's something you can find inside of CapCut super easily. I think it even says trending right there at the top. So you can grab that, pull that into your video, add that typing sound effect, and boom, your video already feels like it is for 2026. The third trend I'm noticing makes me a little uncomfortable because it's my own personal mission this year, and that is to take stances, have opinions, have perspectives. I know this sounds obvious, but as an educator, I've always played it very neutral ground. Let's not offend anyone so that I don't turn anyone away and lose customers. But when you make content like that, that's where you don't get views and engagement. Believe me, ask me how I know, because that's what's happening to my content these days. What I am seeing in my feed is people sharing opinions. It's not rage bait. They're not purposely trying to upset a group of people, but they are sharing a perspective on something about their business or their lifestyle, whatever niche they're in, and they're okay with other people saying no. They're okay with someone in the comments saying disagree, or, you know, sometimes people can get nastier than that. They're okay with that because the end goal is in mind. They are saying something that gets attention, that incites someone to even leave a comment. That's like ding, 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 ding. That is what you need to do with social media. So be okay with choosing a side, and some people will agree with you and some people won't. Again, I know this feels scary, but just keep in mind, if you put something out there and you lose people over it, be okay with it, because they were probably never your ideal customer anyway. And yet the people who do agree with you, who do come to your side, they now know you on a deeper level. Like maybe you got under their skin, or maybe they're like, yes, she's smart, I agree with her because we have the same opinion. Who do you think is more likely to buy from you now? Because they feel something from you. You're not just this news anchor, talking head, sharing safe news. Like, that's a lot of my content style from back in the day. Now they know where you stand. They know they agree with you. When you put something out there, they have a sense that they're already gonna like it because they like you. So think about it in terms of that. Bless the people who are leaving and hug the people who are staying and sticking around and commenting and sharing your stuff. This might be controversial to say, but I feel like in 2020, there was a big surge of cancel culture, and people got really afraid to have an opinion, to take a stance and offend people because they didn't want to be called out and canceled. But what is it, 5-6 years later? I think we're through that. I think now the algorithm and people are okay with you having an opinion that they may or may not agree with, and it doesn't mean that you're going to get canceled. Let's look at a few examples.
I think we're over romanticizing moving to Europe because we're actually so burned out from American work culture. And honestly,
we're over romanticizing moving to Europe because we're burned out from American work culture. It's not really offensive, but it is an opinion, a hot take. I like it. Let's look at another example.
I don't want to see any turquoise or magenta towels. They are not.
I don't want to see any turquoise or magenta towels. Are you offended by that? No, but it's an opinion. He just doesn't like these colors as a home interior designer. So I love it. He has a stance. The next trend I'm noticing is something that I would love to do for myself. It's a little tricky because I live in Barcelona, but content collab houses are coming back. So remember in 2020, there used to be like TikTok creator houses. Young kids who were growing on TikTok used to live in a house for a short period of time and just film a ton of content together and cross-pollinate each other's audiences and introduce each other to each other's audiences. Well, I see the same thing happening inside the business space with personal brands. Not too long ago, people like Adley, Natasha Willis, Maria Went, and a bunch of other people went and lived lived in a house together for a weekend, and all of a sudden I just saw all their reels in my feed because they did a ton of content together and they were tagging each other in all of their posts. So if you are interested in something like that, feel free to put it out there to people in your city. It doesn't have to be like a big thing where people fly into a fancy Airbnb in LA. Put it out there. Hey, are there any other content creators who want to spend Saturday with me? And you come up with 5 reel ideas, I'll come up with 5 video ideas, we'll film them together, we'll tag each other, we'll share each other's audiences together. Could be fun. I would love to do this. I'm in Barcelona, mom of 2 kids. I'm not traveling very far right now, so I'm putting the feelers out there to make this happen. Bottom line is collaboration is a growth strategy today. It's no longer like, I'm an Instagram marketer, I can't talk about other Instagram marketers or mention their name or tag them. No. We're not there anymore. We're collaborating because chances are you have a similar audience as someone else in your space. And if you're real life friends with them, then collaborate with them in your content. And honestly, content is just a transfer of energy. And I find that when I film and create with someone versus just talking to the camera by myself, the vibe is so much better. Like the vibe, the energy is there and my audience feels it. And in fact, some of my favorite videos on this channel are when people came into my home and we sat down and chatted for an hour. They haven't gotten a ton of views, but that doesn't matter to me because I really enjoyed making that type of content. So I think your audience would feel that too when you are vibing with someone, filming it and putting it out there. They're gonna feel the effect. Bottom line, middle effort content is over. Instagram is rewarding 2 key things, high production value and high opinion. You don't need to nail both right away, but you do need to nail at least one. So pick one. The easiest one is your production value. And then as that's established, start working on sharing your opinion, sharing your stance, and having an opinion in your space. Now, speaking of taking a stand, like I said, this is my personal mission to work on this year, and you still do need to learn how to speak in hooks. Hooks are annoying, but they are necessary, and I've put together a free interactive guide called Hooks Decoded. It gives you 15 hook ideas that you can use for your videos, your YouTube videos, whatever, and it works with you to adapt it for your specific niche, and it breaks down why that hook works so that if it does work for your video, you can keep repurposing it in different ways. So if you want it, just comment the word hooks right below this video and we'll get you the link. Now I'm curious, did any of these trends surprise you, or is there one that you're going to try out for yourself? Let me know in the comments below, and I'm gonna update you here on this channel how my work goes with me putting myself out there, taking opinions, and putting all these trends to work. Now, if you're still feeling behind on the Instagram for business game, I have got the perfect video for you next. It is all about if I were to start an Instagram from scratch today, here's what I would do. So go ahead and watch this video next.